Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you your weekly Pick a Something reading. This week I am working with my little, I don't know, my little Buddhas, if I can call them that. We've got the See No Evil, the Hear No Evil, and the Speak No Evil Buddhas that are on the table here with us. And they're going to help us, or help you, I should say, choose a reading today. So I'm going to do a reading for each one of these three. So we're going to do a reading for See No Evil. We're going to do a reading for Hear No Evil. And we're going to do a reading for Speak No Evil. I will somehow incorporate the little Buddha into each of the readings to help us sort of get the message that we need to hear. And I've decided, because I wanted to work with my little statues, I've decided to use the Little Buddha Tarot. This is the beautiful Little Buddha Tarot. It is just the cutest little deck. And the Little Buddha does remind me very much, okay, maybe not the devil one, but the Little Buddha does remind me of these little statues. So we're going to use the Little Buddha Tarot. And with the Little Buddha Tarot, I'm going to be working with the Little Buddha Oracle, which is this cute little deck. And again, you can see it's the same character throughout. So we're going to work with these two decks today to give you, hopefully, an awesome reading and message. I don't particularly have a theme per se. But I just wanted to get a message from the heart, a message to the heart from the soul. And like I said, I've had this desire. I have used my little Buddhas before, these little statues, in quite a few picker cards before, but and the readings have always been quite spot on. So again, this week I don't have specific questions or a specific spread or anything. I'm sort of going to allow the cards to speak their own voice, and to give a message that you need right now. So it's going to be a message from the little Buddha, whether it is the See No Evil, Hear No Evil, or Speak No Evil Buddha. So all you need to do is to pick one of the three. Which one of these three are you drawn to? Are you drawn to more than one? I have a couple of crystals on the table as well, just for a bit of pretty, really. So I chose colors that I thought would look quite good. And we've got some light coming in on the situation as well. So at this stage, friends, which of the three Buddhas are you drawn to? Are you going to go for that one, or that one? And if you have done a pick a card with me before, you will know that there are timestamps or chapters, as YouTube is trying to call them now, chapters below to help you jump around in the reading, move around in the reading. So in other words, if you've chosen See No Evil, you might as well stick around because we're going to go straight into that one first. But if you've chosen one of these two, then you want to skip this reading and go straight to the one that's appropriate. You can use the timestamps or the chapters below to help you do just that. As always, this is a free service offered to you. And if it interests you, if you enjoy your reading, if you got something good out of it, all I ask is that you give the video a thumbs up and a comment below. And if you haven't already done so, remember to hit that subscribe button so that you get to see all the videos that I release when they are released. So yeah, let me stop babbling and let's get into your reading. So we're going to start off with See No Evil. Welcome to those of you who chose the See No Evil Little Buddha. Welcome to your reading. I have got the Oracle card in my hand, Oracle cards, I should say, and I want to just give them a little shuffle. I did shuffle before I started recording, but I do like to shuffle while I have you on camera with me. I'm starting off with the Oracle deck because this particular pick a card, I don't have specific questions. I'm sort of just going to allow the cards to speak their own language. I thought I'd start with the Oracle to set the tone, and apparently there's our tone. So using them to set the tone, to give us an idea of why See No Evil is yours. So here we have the Treat Yourself Oracle, and here we've got little Buddha and little Buddha's friend, the panda, doing a bit of a spa day. They've got a face mask on, they've got the cucumber slices on their eyes, and they are just having the best time ever. And you know what, friends, when last have you done that to yourself? You're probably covering your eyes now, doing that whole, what do they call it, face palm, that whole situation of when last have you treated yourself? When last have you allowed yourself the opportunity to rejuvenate your soul, rejuvenate your happiness, and give yourself an experience of a lifetime? Not sure if you heard the dogs barking. I do apologize. Somebody is walking past. So treat yourself is a really nice oracle, because it is a reminder to us all that we need to treat ourselves, that we need to take a little bit of time out. And I don't know if you've ever had the spa day of having a good facial. It is just so beautiful. It makes you feel so good. You come out of there feeling as if you've had a nice holiday, refreshed, rejuvenated, and excited for life. Now let's see what the little Buddha Tarot wants to add to that. So we're going to give it just a little shuffle, and I'm going to draw a couple of cards. I have no idea how many cards. We're just going to allow the cards to speak their story. I did shuffle the cards before I started recording, as always, but let's just give it just a little shuffle while we are on camera. I think that should be plenty. I'm going to cut the deck in half. Okay, so I'm going to leave the deck over there. Actually, let's do it this way. Right, card number 1, we've got the Hanged Man. The message of the Hanged Man, remember, we're treating ourselves and we're doing a see no evil. So the Hanged Man is telling you that you've got your hands over your eyes. You're not seeing anything that's in front of you. You're not seeing anything that's right there in front of you. So we need to change our perspectives. We need to look at things from a different angle. We need to take a little bit of time out and almost push the reset button, if I can call it that. And when you push that reset button for yourself, and you're suddenly going to start seeing things differently, seeing things from a different vantage point. But the Hanged Man, not only is he telling you to see things differently, in this case he's hanging upside down, but it's also a case of saying to you that sometimes we need to do nothing. Sometimes we need to do a little bit of self-sacrifice, that, by blinding ourselves, by blocking our eyesight. And isn't it interesting that I just realized both of these are doing that? They're both blocking their vision. They're both blocking their eyes. Sometimes when we block our eyes, the rest of our senses really come to life. Our smell, our hearing, our sense of touch, our intuition is heightened when our vision is obscured. And sometimes when you turn yourself upside down and you look at things from a different angle, when you get a different perspective of things, it's amazing how suddenly you perceive and realize the truth of what's going on around you. So you need to stop, you need to rest, you need to rejuvenate yourself. And by doing so, you will get to see things from a different point of view. The next card that we have, probably going to run out of space, so I'm going to push these up just so they're still there. You can see that I'm going to take straight off the top, but just so that I have a little bit more space here on the tabletop. So the next card we've got is the Eight of Cups. Now, this is talking a very interesting story. So we're saying that your vision is obscured, that you need to obscure your vision, that you need to stop looking at things at one angle, at one value, and start looking at things from a different perspective in order to see the truth. What we've got here with the Eight of Cups is a card that says to you that sometimes it's important to realize what's missing in your life. Can you see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cups beautifully laid out, and then we're balancing 3 cups on top, but there's a gap. And here little Buddha is walking off saying, I'm not happy with the gap, and there's no way that I can mend this, fix this, or change this unless I find a cup to fill the gap. So he's walking off. He's gone exploring. He's gone looking. Okay, but maybe what he needs to do is he needs to be looking with more than just his eyes. And that's why we've got the Hanged Man saying to you, different perspective, different vantage point of looking at your situation. The Eight of Cups is the card that says to you, sometimes we have to leave our current circumstance, leave our current situation, and explore what else is out there for us before we make final decision as to what we want, how we want. But remembering the whole point behind this particular reading is for you to treat yourself. The whole point behind this is for you to be more mindful of yourself, your situation, and your circumstance. Not think about other people, not thinking about anybody else's needs, wants, and desires, except for thinking about your own. So you may need to go exploring. You may need to venture beyond your current realm, making sure that you get a different perspective on everything in order to find that which is missing in your life. You've probably convinced yourself for the longest time that it's okay that you don't have this cup, that it's okay that something's missing. You've probably got yourself convinced that it's in your it's in your best interest that this cup is missing. But actually, the truth of the matter is no, you deserve it all. You deserve it all. Taking one more card. Eight of Cups, and now we've got the Eight of Swords. Blindfolded again. We don't see his eyes here. The only time we're seeing his eyes is here in the Hanged Man. Okay, so what we have with the Eight of Swords, you can see that he's got a blindfold across his eyes, so he cannot see. Again, the rest of his senses are absolutely heightened. But now what we have is the rest of him seems to be I want to say tied down, okay? So his arms are tied to his side, so he can't move. He cannot remove the blindfold, all right? He cannot. Here, we can remove our hands and we can move the cucumber slices from our eyes, but now suddenly we feel as if we can't. Suddenly we feel as if our options have been taken away from us. The reality is your options haven't been taken away. It's just your perception that's altered, which is why we started off with the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man is telling you, don't, we mustn't accept things at face value. We must explore, and that's what we're doing over here. But we need to start looking at everything in your life from a different point of view. Stop taking things at face value. Let's use our other senses, but let's also realize that your own happiness matters more than anything or anyone else. The fact that we have these two eights are very significant, because the number 8 is the number of change. It is the number of movement. It is the number of things becoming different from what they have been in the past. So in this situation here, you've got to start looking at things differently. Stretch the imagination, stretch your needs, wants, and desires to look for that which is missing in your life. But not what somebody else says is missing in your life, not what somebody else thinks that you need, but actually what it is that you need. Remember, we're treating yourself. I'm going to take one more card. I love it. We have got the Sun card, which is about happiness, joy, success, all of those kind of good things. Okay, I don't know how, but he seemed to have fallen off camera there for a second. The Sun card is about happiness. It's about joy. It's about abundance. It's about celebration. It's about victory and success and all of those kind of really, really good things. So if you can, the message for you today, friends, is if you can find a way of stepping out of your comfort zone, stepping away from your comfort zone, exploring what is missing in your life, recognizing that you feel as if you shouldn't, you feel as if you can't, you feel as if it's wrong for you to be doing that. But if you can change that perception of the fact that you think you're trapped and stuck and caged when actually you're not, if you can change that, and if you can look at your life from a different perspective, focusing on your own personal needs, wants, and desires, you will find the happiness that you're looking for, the success that you're looking for in life. But you need to take your hands off your eyes. You need to open up your eyes using all your other senses as well, but be more focused on your own needs, wants, and desires, and not necessarily those of other people. And I know you're probably listening to me now going, oh, but I don't have money, I don't have time, I don't have the energy, I don't have this, I don't have that. You're probably telling me, thinking right now about all the things that you don't have and the reasons why you can't have the happiness that you want in your life. But little Buddha Tarot is telling you, look at things differently. Okay, stop looking at things the same way over and over and over again and thinking that's your reality. It's time for you to take a time out. It's time for you to explore and to look to see what else is there. Don't focus on restrictions and limitations. You are free to explore, to have, and to be anything that you want. Happiness is your birthright. It is absolutely. So allow it to happen for yourself. Go and explore, go and look, go and seek, go and find the happiness that you deserve by paying more attention to yourself. So friends, I hope you have enjoyed this reading today. I hope this makes sense to you, and I hope this gives you the answers that you have been looking for. As always, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. Hello and welcome to those of you who chose Speak No Evil. as the reading for you today. Welcome. I have got the Little Buddha Oracle in my hand, and I'm going to shuffle and draw a single card from the Little Buddha Oracle. I decided this week to start with the Oracle because I don't have a set series of questions, and I thought the Oracle could set a good foundation for us. So we're looking for a single card from the Oracle that's going to pair and partner, interestingly, with our Speak No Evil, and see what message comes through. So this is going to create, as I said, the foundation, and then we will use the tarot to get the detail behind the message that Spirit have for you today. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that shuffle. Let's cut the deck there and taking a card off the top. Right, let's put the Oracle away and let's have a look and see what card has come through for you. I love this one. What we think, we become. And that's a message from Buddha himself. What we think, we become. And it's so interesting that we've got what we think we become with the Speak No Evil. Because what we need to understand, and the way that I'm interpreting this for us today, is that what you think is generally what you speak. And that is where you put it out to the universe and it becomes a reality. So we need to learn to not always share the thoughts that we have. Because you know what, sometimes, and I'm sure you've all had this experience in your life, where you have an idea, whether it be an idea for business, whether it be an idea for a surprise, for a gift for somebody, but you have an idea and it's such an awesome idea, it's such a good idea, and you're so excited about the idea, and then you go and you tell someone, and before you know it, they've copied it, or they've done it before you, they've stolen it from you, and you're left with nothing. So sometimes it's important to recognize that even though we have good ideas, even though we have all this understanding and inspiration and stuff, that sometimes we need to keep it to ourselves. And maybe that's why we've got the Speak No Evil. Maybe the message here is that maybe you need to not be so quick to share your inspiration, your motivation, and your ideas with other people. Maybe it's time to keep it to yourself. But you know what? It's human. It's human to want to share. It's human to want to tell people what you're doing because we want gratification. We want validation from people. So we sometimes feel that, if we're working towards a thing, we feel like we need to share it with people. We need to tell people so that they can tell us that they agree it's a good idea, because that gives us the confirmation that we're looking for, the validation that we're looking for to continue. But the message that's coming through quite strongly here is that what you think you become. So trust and believe in your own thoughts and your own expectations, your own desires, and recognize that it's not always a good idea to share that with other people. That sometimes it's better to keep it to yourself before letting other people know. Maybe it's about letting things mature, letting things actually develop in the way that they need to before we share with other people. But let's see. I have the Little Buddha Tarot. I'm going to give it a shuffle, and then we're going to draw out cards that will hopefully elaborate and explain the story that we're talking so far. I honestly do love the idea of recognizing that thoughts, what you think you become. Your thoughts are your dreams. They are your aspirations. They are your goals. They are the things that you desire most in life, And sometimes we've got to understand that people can just be pure nasty. And if you tell people that, I want to change my career and I want to move in a different direction, I want to do something else. When you share your dreams with people, people have this nasty habit of crushing your spirit, crushing your dreams and telling you, don't be silly, you can't do that. That's not what you need to be doing. That's not what you should be doing. And we don't want to be crushed. We don't want to be restricted or limited by somebody else's opinions, because other people's opinions don't always matter. So what we think we become is Buddha confirming that if you've got a dream that you want for yourself, if you've got an idea of what you want to do for yourself, keep it to yourself and keep working towards it. Allow yourself to work towards that goal, that dream, and that aspiration. And feel like you don't always have to tell anybody and everybody about it. Right, so I have shuffled the tarot and I've cut the deck and I have now placed it on the table over there. I'm going to draw cards straight off the top and position them here to get the balance of the story. So let's start with our first card. We've got the Death card. Love love, love that for you guys. So let's just analyze this death card for a minute. Just forgetting about the word death, okay? But let's just look at the picture. So here we have our cute little panda, and Panda is Buddha's best friend, and Panda is standing on the other side of a X-ray machine. Okay, we have these lotus flowers across the bottom here, and the lotus flowers symbolize transformation and going through hard times and struggling and suffering, and then bursting through and just being so full of vitality and full of life. Behind our little panda bear, we have some gravestones, which are an indication of people whose journeys have come to an end, whose earth experiences have come to an end. So Panda is standing there saying, I don't know if I'm alive or dead. I don't know what I think I become, whether I'm saying too much or too little. I don't know. I don't know if I'm alive or dead. So he stands in front of this X-ray machine, and it allows us to see beneath the surface. And beneath the surface, he can see his skeleton. I'm immediately noticing this infinity that we have here in his little hip bones. And to me, it's saying, you're carrying on. You're carrying on. We've got the sun coming up behind him. So it's a whole new day. So even though he's felt like, you know what, this is the end of his existence, actually, it's only the beginning. But it's about the transformation. It's about the change. So I want to say to you, friends, and I'm moving this all the way because I feel like I need a lot of space for this reading, what you think you become. So if you are believing that you want to change your life, that you want to change your reality, that you want to do something differently, the death card is telling you that you have to let go of your current self. You have to let go of your current perceptions, imaginations, and reality. You've got to let go of that and give yourself permission to explore a whole new life. And if you can do that, you will give birth to a whole new version of yourself. But it's about keeping that to yourself. Don't be so quick to tell everybody what you're going to be doing, because as soon as you start telling people what you're going to be doing, they're going to start shutting you down. They're going to start working on your self-belief and crushing it so that you don't actually develop into your full potential. So if you've got dreams, if you've got aspirations, if you've got goals, if you've got ideas in your head on what you want to do in your life, keep it to yourself and let go of your old self. Let go of this old version of yourself and embrace this new version where you can be a whole new person, because what you think, you absolutely can become, as long as you recognize that change is needed and that you need to be selective as to who you share this information with. All right, let's take another card. King of Pentacles. That is such a good confirmation. So King of Pentacles, he is, how can I say it? He has an excess of abundance. He has an abundance of abundance in his life, but he is in control. He is in charge. He is higher up. He is the one that everybody looks up to. He is the one that everybody turns to for advice and for guidance and for a little bit of a help, a little bit of a handout. So this is basically confirmation that you can have your cake and eat it too. All right, here we have those same lotus flowers in the background, and on the floor here, he has got this beautiful, beautiful cow. He has got fruit and grapes and abundance. He's got a bowl of it there. He's got a huge, big money coin, and he is just happy, bursting with happiness, bursting with pride, bursting with everything, because he realizes his power, he realizes his potential. And this is something I'm hoping each one of you listening to me right now are going to see and realize, that if you want to make a change in your life, if you want to grow towards something, if you want to make a difference, don't let anybody else take that away from you. Be selective as to who you share that information with. But it's time for you to let go of your old self. And it's time for you to give birth to your new version of yourself, to your new self, so that you can have the success, the happiness, and the abundance that you want, that you deserve, and that you're entitled to. Next card. Seven of Cups, which is the card of choices and options. So the Seven of Cups is saying that you've got to realize that you are not limited or restricted. The only limits and restrictions that you have are the ones that you impose on yourself, the ones that you have in your old version of yourself. So we need to let go of that. I want to separate it from these cards, okay? We need to let go of that version of ourselves, and recognize that we have got options and choices. Every single one of these cups contains something different, Okay, each one contains something different. Some are fabulous and some are not so fabulous. Like for me, the snake is not so fabulous, but for others it may be fabulous. But I am going to tell you that that snake is transformation. That snake is change. That's what it represents. It lets go of its old skin. It just sort of wriggles out of its old skin and leaves it as a single piece as it starts on a brand new journey. Its growth is about leaving old versions of itself behind. But you've got to understand and recognize that you have choice, that you have options. But again, it's about keeping those to yourself, only sharing it when you have actually succeeded and accomplished what it is that you want for yourself. But life is full of choices. Life is full of choices. And you've been making choices around other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's expectations. And maybe that's what we need to let go of so that we can embrace this new version of ourselves. And finally, we have the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups is a very interesting card. My tarot students will immediately have a thought going around their head. When I teach tarot, I always say the Four of Cups is what I call the caviar. Okay, it's the caviar card, because the Four of Cups is saying that when you have life becoming quite ritualistic and quite samey, and every day we do the same thing in the same way, the same process, life becomes actually quite dull and boring, and we actually can't see the beauty, the happiness, the success in that's there for us. So we become quite dull and uninspired and unmotivated so if you had to eat caviar every single day of your life, when you go to a function and somebody says, here's some caviar, you go rolling your eyes, oh my gosh, more caviar. Other people be like, oh wow, caviar, fancy. But because you eat it every day, you roll your eyes at it and think, well, you know what, I would have been happy with a slice of bread. So it's about understanding that when you experience things in the same way every day, our feelings about that shift and change. So you're at a point in your life now where change has to happen. Change is going to happen. Change must happen. But instead of sharing this with other people, it's time to keep it to yourself until they start noticing, until they start seeing. But you need to surprise people. People always expect you to be the same. People expect you to be the caviar. People expect you to be, oh no, they're fine. They're always fine. They're always fine. They're always fine. They're always fine. But you need them to suddenly see you one day and go, hold a second. What's happened here? Where'd you go? What happened to you? You're not the same person you used to be. So that's why you need to keep quiet, because you need to shock and surprise and catch people unexpectedly. Catch people, that they look at you and go, oh, when did this change happen? When did this evolution take place? You want to catch them unawares and off guard so that you can experience the joy, the abundance, and the success that's there for you. So don't, I'm just going to give you another example. People who choose to go about life-changing changes with regards to diet and exercise, for example, they all typically tell their family and their friends, Monday, I'm on diet and I'm gymming and I'm going to exercise and then what happens is every single day you have everybody saying to you, how's the diet going? How's the exercise going? And the pressure gets put on you. Whereas some people just quietly get on with the diet and get on with the exercise and nobody pays any attention, because that's what's happening here. Nobody's paying any attention. Nobody's excited about what they see until one day they suddenly go, wow, you look so good. You look so different. You look like a completely new person. And that's when you say, well, yes, actually, that's when you say, I have been doing A, B, and C for however amount of time. And that's when people will suddenly pay attention. But when you start off, the pressure that gets put on you because you've shared with everybody, because you've told everybody, that pressure creates a situation of failure, of expectation, too much pressure, too much expectation. So, friends, for you, change is afoot. Through all of this, I can guarantee that there is change happening in your life. I do think you need to internalize it. You need to keep it to yourself. You need to do it on your own, because recognize that if you're having those thoughts, it's going to become a reality for you. You are going to change who you are, what you are, how you are, why you are, etc., in a really positive way to bring you to a place of abundance, happiness, and joy. The choice is yours. You have multiple options available to you, and you're going to just surprise everybody with this massive change that suddenly happens within you. So very exciting for each one of you. But like I say, just quietly get on with it. Don't make a big announcement. Don't make a big deal out of it until people start noticing. And then you can sort of giggle at them and say, well, actually, surprise, here is the change that I am. So our friends, I hope you've enjoyed your reading, and I hope it makes sense to you, and I hope it has inspired you in whichever way you need to be inspired. Thank you for being with me today, and as always, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. Welcome to those of you who chose Hear No Evil as the little Buddha reading for you today. I have the Oracle deck in my hand. I'm going to shuffle it. I decided to start with the Oracle deck today because it will give us, because I don't have specific set questions to work with today, I thought the Oracle could help us to set the tone, and hopefully this card is going to connect with the little statue to give us the kind of gist of the message that you need today from little Buddha. So just giving the little Buddha Oracle a little shuffle. I did shuffle before I start, but you know me, I like you to see the shuffle so that you know everything is above board. Okay, so we have drawn one card. Let's turn it over and see what its message is. Enjoy your happy snack. How amazing is that? So what does enjoy your happy snack have to say to us? I love this. Here we have little Buddha who's gone to the ice cream truck and he's getting an ice cream from his friend, the panda bear. Okay, so you know what? I don't know about you. The fact that we've got ears, but we've got snack, which is eating and taking in and things like that. But what do you see when you see the little ice cream truck? How often do you have those thoughts of hearing the ice cream truck? I know, like here in our neighborhood, I was raised, you hear the ice cream truck driving around the neighborhood and you go rushing to your mommy, begging and pleading for a couple of bits of coin so that you can go and stand on the side of the road to get your ice cream from the ice cream truck. It was like a rite of passage as a child. It is such a big part of our things, and it comes from the ears. So now every time you hear that tune, the ice cream truck tune, immediately you have that kind of deja vu moment to childhood. You have those kind of fond memories that come up, all those kind of experiences that come up where we get to remember back to a simpler, easier, happier time. So the message that I'm getting so far for you guys watching right now is about the hear no evil. It's about paying attention to what we're listening to, and if it's not something that invokes a happy time, a happier time, if it's not something that invokes good memories, then maybe it's something we shouldn't be listening to. Maybe we should be blocking our ears to not take it in, to not absorb that information, to not be aware of it. But enjoy your happy snack says don't have guilt either. Because that's to me is the other thing about the happy snack, is sometimes we have that happy snack and then we feel so guilty because there's so much pressure on us to eat correctly and to not take in excess sugar and to not take in excess this and excess that and all the rest of it. But sometimes we have to switch off from listening to everybody else's advice and guidance around what we should be eating, what we should be consuming. And as long as we are doing everything in moderation, but when you are having a snack, enjoy that snack. And I am absolutely the kind of person who loves working with inner child. I love doing inner child work on myself, for myself, etc. And my favorite way of doing inner child work is through happy snacks. So eating ice cream, but like getting your fingers involved, eating yogurt with the fingers, getting it all like messy and tangible and tactile. To me, that always works so well because I do it with no guilt about, oh my gosh, I'm eating ice cream. When I eat an ice cream, I really do enjoy that, and I have absolutely no guilt about it. So we need to stop listening to the people who tell you that we need to not eat this and not eat that and only do this and only do that. When you allow yourself a treat, whatever your treat doesn't necessarily have to be unhealthy, but whatever your snack is, whatever your treat is, take the time to stop all other activity and to fully engage in the activity of the happy snack. Make sure that the happy snack that you're having, is one that you really engage in the experience of eating it, of enjoying it, the pleasure that it gives you, all of those kind of things, without feeling guilty at all. All right. So here I have now the tarot deck. I'm going to give it a shuffle, and we're asking for additional information and clarity around eating what we want, when we want, how we want it, and not really paying unnecessary information, not paying an unnecessary, not listening to what other people have to say about what it is that we are eating, whatever it is that we are having, and whatever it is that we are experiencing in our life. Okay, so let's just give the cards a little shuffle. We're asking little Buddha to tell us, what are we hearing that we shouldn't be listening to, and what should we be enjoying on a guilt-free level? That's the message that's coming through for you guys today. All right, I have shuffled and cut the cards. I'm going to leave them there, and I'm just going to grab straight off the top as we tell the story. So let's start. First card we have is the Knight of Cups. Now, look what he's doing. He's got a rose in his mouth, okay? You can see by the horse's legs that there is movement, there is progress, there is advancement, okay? The fact that it's moving in this direction is also generally towards the future. The rose is a symbol of love. It's a symbol of showing emotion. The way that he's holding the cup is in a victory kind of, just a showing off, like a showing off kind of situation. But what he's doing is he's making a grand gesture. He is going towards the love of his life, and he is making sure that the love of his life is very much aware of how he feels and what he's hoping for and what he's expecting out of the relationship. And he's doing this with absolutely no guilt. He is showing emotion. He's not listening to what other people have to say about his relationship and about his affections and about his actions. He's not listening to other people's judgment. All right. He's saying, I am doing this because it makes me feel good. I'm not carrying any guilt. I am confident. I am strong. And I am showing love in the best way and the only way I know how. How amazing is that? So his message for each one of you right now is to also do that. If you have feelings for a person, if you want to reignite your relationship that you already have with your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, it's important that you express yourself without concern around what other people are saying to you or what other people may think. Don't feel guilty. If you want to express yourself in whatever way, absolutely do it. It's time for you to express yourself. Second card, continuing with this beautiful feeling that we have, because here we have the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is the opulence card. It's the card of saying you have excess, you have extra, that there is so much love to go around. There is so much emotion to go around. So again, if you spend all your time paying attention to what other people are saying, taking in all the guidance and all the advice and all the thing from people who actually don't know love, from people who actually don't know how to enjoy a happy snack, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stifled. You're going to be trapped in your own reality. But if you can understand that, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what makes me feel good. I'm going to do the big show of love, the big show of affection, the big show of emotion. And I don't care who sees me, who hears me, or what anybody says, because there is so much to give. There is so much on offer. There is so much going. There is so much available to every single one of us, and I want to explore that for myself. And it's important that we do that. It's important that we allow ourselves to have those experiences and to realize that there isn't a lack in this world. The only lack that we have is the one that we have in our own heads. So if you believe that there is no love for you, if you believe that there is no happiness for you, if you believe that you should just feel guilty all the time, then that's the reality that you're creating for yourself. But if you can stand tall confidently and say, you know what, but this is who I am, and I'm going to enjoy my happy snack. I'm not going to have any guilt. I'm not going to take in the advice of people whose lives and relationships are miserable. I'm not going to listen to them. I know that there is so much out there for me. Let's carry on. One more card. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is basically saying to you, hard work pays off. The Eight of Pentacles is saying we need to learn how to replicate happiness, replicate joy, replicate love, abundance, all of these kind of things. Whatever you're doing that's working for you, stick with it. Don't change the recipe. Don't change the process. Again, it's about taking advice selectively, okay? It's about recognizing what it is that you want for yourself, what it is that brings you happiness and joy, and sticking with that. Don't feel under pressure to take the advice of society, of family, of people and colleagues and whatever. It's time for you to recognize what it is that makes you happy, what it is that brings you joy, and stick with that. The Eight of Pentacles is saying that, you know what, you start off, you try it, you learn from it, you try again, and you make a couple of tweaks and changes, you make some adjustments until you have perfected what it is that brings you happiness, what it is that shows you what, you know, that allows you to enjoy a happy snack. And once you've mastered that process, you stick with it, you stay with it, and you continue doing it over and over and over again, because again, I said it in the previous reading and I'll say it here, happiness is your birthright. You are entitled to be happy. Listening and taking in bad advice, feeling guilty for life's pleasures, for, you know, being human and having some happy snacks, feeling guilty for that is not what life is supposed to be about. But you need to do what makes you feel good, as long as everything's done in moderation, as long as you're not being silly about it. But understand that there is plenty to go around, but you have to find the recipe that works for you, and it may require you to stop listening to the advice and guidance of others. And finally, we have the Queen of Wands. And doesn't she just look so content and so happy with life? There she sits on her little pillow, feeling so confident, so content. She knows that she's worked hard. She knows that she is surrounded by all the things that make her happy. And in this particular case, it's the sunflower. And we all know that the sunflower is the happiness plant. It's the happiness flower. So here we started off with the rose in the mouth, and here we're ending off with all of these sunflowers all around. And in the middle of this, we have abundance. We've got abundance in both forms. So you need to start taking the time, giving yourself permission to enjoy your happy snacks. Snacks in this case could be anything, but we need to make a big show of love. We need to make a big gesture. It's a huge gesture of letting people know who you are and what's important to you, what actually matters to you. And do not feel guilty for having that, for feeling that, for knowing that, for experiencing that. Be strong, be brave, be confident, and understand that your hard work will pay off, and you will be able to know that everything that you desire is being catered for, that your creativity, your style, your methods, your processes, that life is just going to be absolutely perfect as long as you are enjoying your happy snack and like really engage and engross yourself in that moment, in that process, in that experience, and don't allow anybody to tell you anything differently. Friends, I hope you got an exact message that you needed to hear right here and right now. I hope this speaks to your heart and soul and just gives you the guidance and the clarity and the understanding that you need to do whatever you need to do to live the life of happiness that you deserve. As always, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.